Hello guys, Ezra here and welcome back to another movie review. And on today's movie review, I want to talk about Weapons, and this is the second movie directed and written by Zachcregger, who was known for Barbarian, and I am someone who loves Barbarian. I think it's a really unique horror movies. It's not perfect, but I do love it. And the second movie, Weapons, is actually a much bigger, I would say a much bigger version of like the idea how Zachcregger written his storyline and paced the storyline, because this movie follows several characters played by Josh Brolin, Julia Garner, aldenehrenreich, austinabrams, benedictwong, and amymadigan. So I think this is like a really interesting horror movies that I think most people will enjoy it, but I can see that maybe it's not for everyone, because like the storytelling was a bit more different on how from a normal storytelling, because you are following several characters and have several point of view of the storyline. And I think that really complements the movie really well, because the movie is about the missing of the 17 children, because at one night they all decide to walk out of their house and disappear into the night at 2:17 p.m. or a.m. And all but one kids at Justin Gandy's classroom, with this Julia Garner's character. So I think the positive aspect about the movie is actually the storytelling, because I do enjoy how much it jumps between the characters, but it was consistent throughout, because in the movie there is like a title card that announced that, oh, now we're focusing on this character, and then now we're focusing on this character, and then now we're focusing on this character. So I think it does a really good job balancing the storyline and the perspective between those set characters, and how they all connected to the very end of the movie. And I think the movie has a very interesting hook from the beginning. It kind of tells a story from, like, I guess it was narrated by a child, the child that is missing from the class, which is Alex. Which also, by the way, I want to give a shout to the actors here. Carrie Christopher, who plays Alex, the only child who's not missing. He does a great job in the movie, because usually child actor could be like a hit or miss, and I think this child actor does a good job in the movie, because I love his performance. And yeah, the movie kind of feels like a legend, or like a horror story told in a campfire, by a bunch of kids. And that's what this movie felt like. And I think I love it, because the mystery and then the characters from the beginning really just hooked me from the very beginning. And then just to see, and seeing the storyline progress even further just got me more excited and more intriguing to find out what actually happened in this movie, and what's happening to these missing kids. Why are they missing, and why are they walking out of their house in the middle of the night? And I think it's such an interesting movie to watch. And I think the performance as well by all the actors honestly are very, very good. I really enjoy all of them, even the kid. I think all of them does a great job. And yeah, I think that's really just elevating the storyline even further, because they all feels like a really like a small community from a small town, and it feels very, very lively. And I really, really enjoy how each character are dealing with this sad situation, because obviously Julia Garner's character are blamed for the missing of the children, because she's the teacher in the classroom. And then Josh Brolin's character, Archer, are the father of Matthew, which is one of the missing kids, so he has a different storyline as well. Benedict Wong is actually the principal, and then he also has some connection with Justin, Julia Garner's character, obviously. And then you got the cop, and then a drug dealer, I think. And those two also has a connection to how the story will unfold in the future, especially in the third act, which I quite love that. And of course, the man himself, Zachcregger, who is directing the movie. I think the direction is absolutely amazing. The camera work in this movie and the editing is absolutely fantastic, and the way Zachcregger shot like a creepy doorway in this movie is absolutely fantastic, because I was like, you never know what could came out from that dark hallway. And I think it was great, because there's several of those shot in the movie, and I was like, wow. I was just like, okay, what's gonna come out from the darkness here? Like, we don't know. And I think Zachcregger portrayed that portrayed that fear, or like creepiness, really, really well. And I also want to praise the music by Ryan Holiday, I think. Ryan Holiday and Hayes Holiday and Zachcregger himself. So we got three composer here. And yeah, absolutely love the music because I think there is some chase sequence that happens in the movie and the music really elevates that, or some creepy things that happens in the movie and sometimes the music really elevates the scene. Because in this movie, when there is some creepy stuff happens, sometimes they don't play any music, and they just use like some audio cues here and there, and I think it's really elevating the scene and make it even more creepier. Because here's the thing, I would say that the movie it has some creepy moments for me, but it doesn't necessarily scare me to death, no, but it does creep me out, and I was so interested to see the plot point, what actually happened to these kids, why these kids are leaving their house. And I think as the movie keeps going, my attention just like keep getting more and more interested in the movie. And I guess if I have to like maybe give some criticism about the movie, I think the beginning of the movie is kind of slow for me. So it does get a while for me to care enough for some of the characters, because I think Julia Garner's character is probably like the least like favorite storyline for me, because every single other characters are interesting, the way they handle the situation. And I think with Julia Garner's character, it was sorta interesting, but I think in comparison to the other characters, I think they are way more exciting compared to her characters. But I'm not saying that Julia Garner's characters is bad. Like, no, I think you could sympathize with her and you understand her situation and you are rooting for her. But I'm just saying that compared to like the other characters, I think she's like the least interesting storyline, at least for me. And she basically started the movie, and I was like, okay, well, it does get a while before things could get going, but once it was switching to the other characters, it became way more interesting. And yeah, I absolutely love it. And also, I want to mention something here because it was like a mystery. This movie is a mystery horror film, but there is some comedic moment in here. And because Zachcregger was known for being like a comedian before he transitioned to like a horror filmmaking, kind of like Jordan Peele. And yeah, there is some funny moment, like genuine funny moments in this movie. I'm not talking that the moment was supposed to be serious and it was becoming unintentionally funny. Like, no, the moment was supposed to be funny, and my theaters laugh at the jokes and at some of the scene that happens later on in the movie. Like the way the villain was handled in the end, it was actually funny. But I like that, because the villain get the comeuppance of the action, and I love the way the movie ends. There is some really funny scene in the end there that makes my audience and me laugh, which I think is like, wow, okay, I didn't expect to see to see the scene becoming funny, because it was serious and then it was funny and then it becomes serious again. But I do think Zachcregger was able to shift the tone really, really well. Like, I was able to tell that, oh, if the moment was supposed to be serious or creepy, and when the moment or where the moment was supposed to be funny. So you kind of know that, oh, this was supposed to be serious and this was supposed to be funny. So every single elements in this movie has a room, and I think Zachcregger was able to showcase that really, really well. And I don't think people will hate the comedy. Some people might hate the how the movie kind of ends, but I personally love it because it was funny, but it was also satisfying to see the ending. And it was like, wow, okay. Here's the thing, there is a mystery in this movie, right? And I think the movie does give you a big answer to what happened to the kids and why is this happening on this specific town. Like, it was explained in the movie, but there are some moments that might feel like a bit more jarring because they don't give you any explanation, to one set characters or like to some imagery that you have in this movie, that it wasn't exactly explained like why that thing is happening. But I do like it because, again, I don't need every single thing to be answered, because you do get the bigger answer to what happened to the kids. Like, it was answered in the movie, and why the movie is titled Weapons, like, it was makes sense, it was explained. So that's why to me it's like, okay, the movie at least give us a big answer to the mystery in this movie. But there is some like breadcrumbs here and there that was actually left mysterious by Zachcregger, and I absolutely love that. Like, you're supposed to ask questions about like why some of this thing was like left unanswered, and I think you're supposed to come up with your own conclusion and theory. So that's why I absolutely love that. So yeah, I guess that's my review for Weapons, guys. I absolutely love this movie. I think it's a near masterpiece for me. Because like I said before, the start of the movie was a bit slow, but I do enjoy it as it keeps going. It was like, okay, I was like really, really enjoying the movie. I really enjoyed the storytelling, the pacing, the villain, to be honest, and then like the reason why this thing is happening. I love that. I love the comedy. It was actually genuinely funny. It wasn't jarring, you know. It has its place in the movie, so I absolutely love that. The music as well really elevates the scene, and the camera work, like, oh my god, it was so good. So yeah, I love Weapons. And so let me know, guys, in the comment section below, what do you guys think about this movie right here? What do you guys think about the ending, you know? And you know, do you guys love it or do you guys hate it? Either way, guys, that's my review. If you guys enjoyed, then make sure you guys, you know, weaponize that subscribe and like button, share the videos to show stuff, and stay tuned for more movie reviews or reaction videos in the future. And again, I hope you guys enjoyed this movie review, and I'll see you guys in the next one then. Bye!